Before you decide between Portland or Aransas Pass, there are a few things that you need to know that could save you from making an expensive mistake, the kind that's hard to fix once you're moved. From housing prices and school districts to commute times and lifestyle differences, these two towns may look close on a map, but living in each one can feel completely different. Hey everyone, I'm Lezli Milner, your local realtor here in the Coastal Bend, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down the key differences between Portland and Aransas Pass, so that way you'll know exactly what to expect before making your move. Whether you're relocating from out of the area or you're just thinking about changing neighborhoods here along the Coastal Bend. By the end of this, you're going to have a clear picture of which one lines up best with your lifestyle and priorities. And I'd love to hear your thoughts as we go through. Drop a comment below letting me know which of these two towns that you could see yourself living in. Let's start with schools, because whether you have kids or not, the quality of the school district can tell you a lot about the community, and it can have a big impact on your home's value down the road. If you live in Portland, your kids will be in Gregory Portland ISD, and this district has around 4,000 students, and it's known for strong academics, competitive sports programs, and a newer high school campus with upgraded facilities. Now, for the 2024-2025 academic year, Gregory Portland earned a B rating from the Texas Education Agency with a score of an 82. Now, that rating reflects the hard work of the educators, students, and families, and it aligns with the district's continued improvement and innovation. It's one of the reasons families actively seek out homes here, and it's a big factor in helping properties hold their value. Now, in Aransas Pass, you're looking at Aransas Pass ISD, which has about 1,600 students. It's a smaller district, which means smaller class sizes and a more close-knit school community. But it doesn't have the same ratings or resources as Gregory Portland ISD. For the 2024-2025 school year, Aransas Pass earned a D rating from the Texas Education Agency with the score of a 68. Now, that rating measures how much students are learning, whether they're ready for the next grade level, and how well the district prepares them for life after high school and college, the workforce, or the military. While some families do prefer the small town atmosphere and personal attention of a smaller district, the rating difference between the two is something that many buyers consider. Now, from a real estate perspective, being in a highly rated district like Gregory Portland ISD can open your home up to more buyers when it comes time to sell. In Aransas Pass, the lower average home prices make it easier to get more house for your money, but you're going to want to weigh that against the district's performance and your ability to resell. Now, for many families, pets are also part of the equation when choosing where to live, so it's worth looking at local options for veterinary care, pet stores, and grooming. In Portland, you've got the Cross Point Veterinary Clinic and Portland Veterinary Hospital, as well as a Pet Supplies Plus for food, toys, and everyday needs. Over in Aransas Pass, you'll find Pet Vet and Aransas Animal Clinic, and just next door in Ingleside, there's the Ingleside Animal Hospital. And for supplies, Aransas Pass does have a Tractor Supply that covers most of the basic for pets. Now, I'll be upfront, I personally don't have any experience with these clinics since I take my own animals to Southside Animal Hospital in Corpus. So if you're considering these local options, I recommend doing a little research, calling the offices, and just asking questions to see which one feels like the right fit for you and your pets. Moving on, let's talk about commutes, because this can make or break your day-to-day routine. Now, Portland is just over the bridge from Corpus Christi, so if you work in the city, whether that's downtown, at the refineries, at the university, or the Naval Air Station, your drive is usually quick and straightforward, especially with the new Harbor Bridge completed. Traffic flow has improved, making that 15 to 20 minute trip into Corpus even smoother. And you're also about 45 minutes from Port Aransas if you're planning to have a beach day. Now, Aransas Pass is a little further out, which is about 30 minutes to Corpus. So if that's where you work, you're going to be on the road just a little bit longer. But on the flip side, you're much closer to the water and just minutes from Port Aransas, Rockport, and local marinas. The ferry is a big perk for weekend trips to Port A, but it's worth noting that the ferry lines, they can back up during peak times, like on the weekends, the holidays, and special events that go on. But the bottom line is, Portland wins for convenience to Corpus, while Aransas Pass offers a more coastal location with quick access to fishing, boating, and beach life. Alright, now that we've covered schools and commutes, let's talk about what it actually costs to purchase a home in each of these areas and the types of homes that you're going to find. In Portland, the average home price is around $307,000. You're going to see a mix of newer subdivisions and master plan communities with amenities like parks and walking trails, along with established neighborhoods and even some waterfront homes along the bay. Homes here are currently sitting on the market for about 93 days, which reflects the fact that there are a few months of inventory available, but properties are still moving, especially when priced right. In terms of affordability overall, Portland's cost of living is about 6% lower than the national average, which makes it an attractive option for families and professionals. And of course, housing costs are just one part of the equation. You still have monthly expenses like insurance that can make a big difference. Insurance premiums here in Portland are pretty average for the area, and Portland also does have an active rental market with more long-term opportunities serving families and commuters who work in Corpus. Now, over in Aransas Pass, the average home price comes in much lower, around $172,000, making it a more affordable option compared to Portland. Now that said, a good portion of the housing stock can be older or more basic, and the overall inventory is usually limited. You're going to find older coastal cottages, some newer builds, and waterfront homes with canal or bay access. Now, from a buyer standpoint, Aransas Pass is especially appealing if you want to be near the water without paying Port Aransas prices. Now, homes here are currently on the market for about 95 days on average, which shows that while there's still more inventory available, properties under $400,000 are still moving, while anything higher than that has been sitting longer. Now, the cost of living here in Aransas Pass is about 17% lower than the national average, which is a big plus, but keep in mind that being closer to the coast means higher insurance premiums compared to Portland. Now, Aransas Pass is also more likely to have short-term rental opportunities due to its coastal location, though you're still going to find some traditional rentals as well. From an investment standpoint, Portland offers strong resale potential thanks to the school district and the proximity to Corpus, and Aransas Pass, on the other hand, it can be a great fit if you're looking for a second home, a rental property, or simply more space for your budget near the water, as long as you're selective about the property's condition and the location. Another big question is where people actually work in these two communities. In Portland, many residents either work locally in the refineries or commute across the harbor bridge into Corpus. Now, the location makes it convenient for jobs downtown or even at the Naval Air Station, and it's also tied into Corpus Christi's broader employment base. And you have leading industries that support Portland's economy that include the education and health services, retail trade, and financial activities. Altogether, you also have a stable mix of blue-collar jobs and professional opportunities, which is one of the reasons the area continues to attract families and long-term residents. Aransas Pass, on the other hand, has an economy that leans heavily on tourism and its maritime roots. You have shrimping, boating, and fishing are all central industries. You're also going to find plenty of jobs connected to tourism, From restaurants and marinas to hospitality and seasonal work, there are also opportunities in retail, local government, security, and general labor roles. While the job market here is smaller compared to Portland, it is experiencing slow but steady growth. And being so close to Port Aransas and even Rockport creates even more employment options tied to the coastal tourism and recreation. So from a job standpoint, Portland offers stronger access to Corpus Christi's larger and more diverse employment base, while Aransas Pass is better suited for those drawn to more coastal jobs and retail. Moving on, Portland gives you a mix of local favorites and national chains, so you don't always have to cross the bridge into Corpus when you want to go eat out or pick up something. You're going to find casual sit-down spots, coffee shops, and plenty of quick grab-and-go dining options, along with everyday essentials at H-E-B and Walmart. The brand new Target is also now open, and with the upcoming Fifth and Elm venue, that's going to bring even more variety, featuring a state-of-the-art indoor facility with a restaurant, gathering and event space. Outside the venue will host live events on the outdoor concert stage, and it will also include family-friendly play areas like an artificial turf great lawn, tree groves, has playscapes with rolling hills and tunnels, an interactive water feature, and will have a climbing rope tower. Families can also look forward to a Mr. Gaddy's, which is expected to open by December of 2025. And Aransas Pass leans into its coastal identity with plenty of seafood and waterfront dining options, favorites like Papanos Place and Mickey's Bar and Grill that make the view part of the experience. And the fishing culture shows up on the menus all over town. Shopping here in Aransas Pass is more limited compared to Portland, but as far as essentials, you also have an H-E-B, a Walmart, Lowe's, Dollar General, and a few other spots. And you're also close to Port Aransas for boutique coastal shops. Recreation in Portland centers around family-friendly parks, sports, and waterfront activities. Residents enjoy Sunset Lake Park, Indian Point Pier, and the new Chris Andrews boat launch for fishing, kayaking, and time on the water. Golfers have North Shore Country Club, and you'll also find tennis and pickleball courts there. While Portland doesn't have the same fishing hub as Aransas Pass, it still offers great fishing opportunities, but one thing to consider is the limited access to bait stands. On a positive note, entertainment options continue to grow. The Fifth and Elm venue, as I mentioned before, will add concerts and family-friendly events to the mix. The city has also come together each spring for WindFest, which is a multi-day festival with carnival rides, a BBQ cook-off, live entertainment, and activities for all ages. It's one of the biggest community highlights of the year, and in Aransas Pass, recreation is all about the water. You have Con Brown Harbor, which is the heart of the community, with boat launches, fishing charters, and tournaments throughout the year. The city also offers its aquatic center for summer fun, CM Lanes bowling for casual nights out, and the restored Retalio Theater, which hosts plays, live music, and open mic nights. You have the Civic Center also that brings in concerts, trade shows, and banquets, giving the residents plenty of ways to stay involved beyond fishing and boating. The biggest annual event here is the Shrimpery Festival and Parade every October, which is the largest shrimp festival in Texas, with carnival rides, parades, live music, and plenty of fresh Gulf shrimp. It's a must-see that draws thousands of people from all over. But just be sure to grab your tickets early since crowds and lines can build up pretty fast. As we wrap things up, I want to quickly touch on the lifestyle, safety, and healthcare options of these two cities. Portland has more of a suburban feel with family-friendly neighborhoods and a steady wave of new developments. You're going to find more amenities here compared to Aransas Pass, which makes it an attractive option for people who want the convenience close to home. The pace of life here is relaxed, but with Corpus only a few minutes away, you can easily balance small town living with access to big city options. Safety is another reason why many people choose Portland. The city's overall crime rate is 27%, which is lower than the national average of 33%. While there are some concerns about property crime, violent crime here in Portland is relatively low, and residents generally report feeling safe here, especially in the newer neighborhoods and the master plan communities. Police presence is also strong here in Portland. Between the local patrols and the state troopers, Portland is heavily monitored, and some people even describe it as a bit of a speed trap. But the upside is you can feel confident knowing that the officers are active and they're visible in the community. Now combine that with a strong school district, this creates a family-friendly atmosphere. And healthcare is also a big plus in Portland. The city has a lot of local clinics for everyday needs, and with Corpus Christi hospitals and specialists just a short drive away, healthcare costs here also run about 7% lower than the national average, making care both affordable and accessible. Aransas Pass offers more of a small coastal town atmosphere where boating and fishing are part of daily life. The vibe here is shaped by the water and the tourism economy, so things tend to feel more laid back and seasonal compared to Portland. That slower pace appeals to people who want to be close to the water and don't mind a smaller community feel. Safety here is a bit more mixed. The overall crime rate is 42%, which is higher than the national average of 33%. And both violent and property crimes are above average. But that said, many residents here still report feeling safe, and most of the concerns are tied more to the seasonal tourism, water safety, or even wildlife encounters than to the day-to-day living. Now, police presence here is less consistent than in Portland. While the Aransas Pass Police Department is active, there are some mixed reviews, and many locals discuss their experiences in the Facebook groups, with some describing the department as subpar. Now, with that said, the community tends to be close-knit and proactive about looking out for one another, which helps balance things out. Another consideration is healthcare access in Aransas Pass. It's a little bit more limited than in Portland. There are small local providers for routine care, but for specialists or major medical needs, most residents head into Corpus. And on pricing, it's about the same as Portland, roughly 7% lower than the national average, but the difference comes down to access rather than the cost. Both Portland and Aransas Pass have their strengths. It really depends on what your lifestyle, your budget, and your priorities are. For some people, that answer is crystal clear, while for others, it takes talking it through with someone who knows these markets inside and out. And if that's you, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll help you cut through the noise and figure out which area makes the most sense for your situation. You'll find my contact information in the description below for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.